Hello and welcome to the 2019 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. Our coverage today is presented by JomezPro Patreon supporters like yourself. Thank you so much for bringing us this coverage. We have got big German commentary, Jeremy Koling, Simon Lizotte up in the booth today. What's going on, Simon?
We're back at the semifinals. This is Saturday. Predicted was a very, very rainy day, but you'll see we got kind of lucky and it got pushed back further and further. So we have a nice mild day, like low 60s.
We have got, this is the feature group. This is the last group out. We've got yourself, we've got Garrett Gurthie, we've got James Conrad, and finally rounding up the group, we've got Kevin Jones. And the advantage of this group today is that we've got 8 players or 16 players. 16 players on the course, and only the top 4 scores will advance. These top 4 players on the card have the points advantage. So if there's any tie breaks, the advantage goes to this group. And at the end of the round, you're going to know what you need to do because the other groups are going to be finished there with their round, what scores are going to get into the final 9. Let's get right into it. Hole 1 is a par 3, 390 feet, brand new tee position, incredibly difficult hole. So far, we've only seen one birdie through 32 plays.
Put your hands together for Mr. Simon Lizotte.
What are you starting this round off with?
I'm throwing a pretty beaten FD3, and I'm just glad to get this round finally started. It's been kind of a long week here in Charlotte, just waiting for the Saturday round to start. And hole 1's a pretty mean starting hole, being kind of cold.
That's a fortunate kick up the fairway.
Yeah, not bad at all. I'm more than halfway to the basket, so I think that's a win on this hole.
It really is. It is a 100% gold level tee, one that can maybe even see a tree or two missing. We'll see if chainsaws accidentally start running amok out here during the between the 2019 and the 2020 Pro Tour Championship. And Kevin throwing a nice turn, just not quite able to turn early enough, but it's down the fairway.
From Gainesville, Florida, representing Innova Champion Discs, Double G, Mr. Garrett Gurthie.
Garrett Gurthie, the winner of the 2019 Masters Cup in Santa Cruz, a player that everyone knows for his big distance, but you should know him also for his smooth play in the woods. One of my favorite players to watch. And that was a very early release.
All 3 of us so far have been kind of early releasing those. Kevin only throwing a putter, probably trying just to lay up and get a par.
Mr. James Conrad.
But we all know and expect James to kill it through these tight wooded lines.
That's right.
That's what he's known for. That's what he loves.
He's going with the DX Rock 3. So he is playing this one for birdie. I would figure he'd either do that or play with the JC AVR. That's a good looking line, but it's turning a little early, and the devastating kick right early. Nothing good up there. If you kick, you really are hoping you get that forward advance because it starts getting a little bit lighter up closer to the basket, but if you kick early into the woods, there's really not much hope to save par.
Yeah, from now on, for all 4 of us, this is scramble time. And
that was a great shot from Garrett. Just to get to circle's edge from there is doing a lot of really good stuff there. So it didn't hit any trees. But you can see James is already lining up an overhand. Is he going to go with a tomahawk? Oh, wow.
James had just a really unfortunate kick, and he got kicked into like the worst spot on the right there.
Yeah, that is not good. Kevin with a little bit of a tricky line. He's going to have to go behind this tree. Hopefully miss all the trees up on the green. Yeah, that's a great approach.
Tricky spots. Pretty tricky spots.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible effort.
I chose to putt with a PD2, which is a 12-speed driver, my most overstable one, to kind of cheat on those angles.
I'm so happy you're in the booth today because that's just like one of those details you'd never know. And James with a semi-routine putter approach. And now he is left with this for the bogey, most likely staring down a double bogey to start the round. And, this format, good effort, but that will be a double bogey at best. And this format is a brutal one because only the top 4 out of 16 players advance. I mean,
this is a do or die situation for all of us.
And do is what Garrett does from just outside the circle, wide straddle. That is an excellent putt. Something that Garrett's really cleaned up quite a bit this season. One of the reasons he's won as many events as he's won. He's won an A-tier, I think Zootown. I'm pretty sure he won Zootown this year. And they went Masters Cup, and he's been in the mix so many times this season. As James is able to collect his bogey, or double bogey, excuse me. And, clearly James has all the firepower that he needs to be able to shoot a hot round, even with a double bogey start. But, this isn't like shoot a good round and maybe next round shoot a great round. This is, like you said, this is do or die. And so from the beginning of the round, it's kind of a disheartening start, right? Just like that, And there were actually 3 birdies on the day, which is such a surprising thing to see on that hole. Philo birdied it yesterday and today, Drew Gibson and Zach Melton. So hats off to those guys for that elusive 2 on the difficult 1. And here we are to the beautiful hole 2. Such a treat to be able to play this hole. This has got to move. Oh, no. And so that's going to progress about 50 feet to the FPOT pad.
That was very disappointing.
Yeah,
for me. All I wanted to do is throw it long because that's all you got to do is throw it into those trees, and something's going to stop your disc. And Kevin just completely parks it with a putter.
Yep, that's great distance control, and it's deceivingly long. Anytime you throw over water like this, it seems a lot shorter than it actually is. But at 330 feet, it really makes you commit to the shot, especially with the wall there, because without that wall, you're sliding up in bounds and you're getting away with a slightly early release.
Yep.
But Garrett is able to keep it in bounds. He'll have 25 feet left for the birdie. And James is going with the Conrad AVR. No surprise there.
Maybe it's smart to throw a putter just so you make sure you actually commit to the shot.
And he's overcommitted. This is heading right, and I don't think this has a chance. Oh, and it's even in the water. Oh, this is a disastrous start for James.
Yeah, James was really, really confused after that shot.
Wow. So now you're going with a Sky God, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
And are you thinking running this up, or is this just trying to park it?
No, it's early in the round, and we can constantly check scores, so we know what we kind of have to aim for. And I know everyone's going to get a bogey out there, so I'm trying to tap into my bogey and move on.
And James is going to be left with a putt just outside the circle for his bogey again. This is exactly the start you were hoping to not have.
Yeah, and it's so crazy that, James is so good.
Oh, no.
And it goes so quick that you're just
4 over par.
Suddenly in this situation where you had 1 or 2 inches off, and then, okay.
And
here goes your first 2 holes.
And Garrett is in for the birdie. And just like that, James is trailing Garrett by 5 strokes. And you got to imagine that 6, 7, 8 under is going to be right around that magic number from the scores that we've seen for the first 2 days. So you got to think that at this point, with being 4 over, you're looking to shoot 13, 14 under from here on out.
If I would think anyone could do it, it would probably be James.
He's got to turn around immediately, and we are on to hole 3, a brand new pin location on this par 4 in the beautiful woods here in Hornets Nest Park, 609 feet, and it just keeps turning right and turning right and turning right. The best drives are going to be down there by the ditch. This is a really good looking drive from Kevin. If it get around and skip forward, oh yeah. And that's going to be a little bit on the right side, which is going to make the angle a little bit trickier. If he had gone another 20 feet straighter, that would have been an ideal spot. And that is just that's a position where it's not that difficult to scramble for the par, but birdie is completely out of the picture at that point. And that's a beautiful forehand. It's going to come up a little bit short near Kevin's, but actually being a little bit shorter of the ditch in that angle probably opens up the second shot a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the sweet spot, but it is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Like, if you hit the initial gap and make forward progress, it's always good.
And that was a little bit early turn, kicked off to the left side of the fairway. That is going to leave a possible approach, but Garrett's just trying to play through the trees. Wow, that is a very aggressive play. I'm surprised to see him do that. There's no... those woods are very thick there.
Yeah, I think he was just trusting the throw it hard and
Yeah.
good things happen strategy.
That seems to work a lot in the woods. That was a great forehand from James. He's going to be about 50 feet, maybe just inside.
Yeah, Kevin and I were talking about his sidearm there, and we were like,
Uh-oh.
that was like smooth. There's
Yeah, that
like
was a
no
good one.
reason for him not to do that more often.
He doesn't give himself enough credit for that shot. It's just, when you're so good with a backhand, it's hard to trust anything else. And that's about 33 feet or so, right?
Yeah, just outside circle one. A little short, but I mean, if you're putting for birdie, then you have nothing to complain about.
Kevin have to go the backdoor backhand turnover, and this is perfect. Makes easy work of a semi-difficult approach. And Garrett is paying the price for trying to go through the thick woods there, and that is going to be pretty easy to get up and down, I would think. He's going with the Sonic. So Garrett will have that left for bogey. And you mentioned it. We were expecting rain all through the forecast. Very fortunate to not have that dumping down on us right now. James from 47 feet.
Just timing is slightly off.
Just
it seems like.
barely off. And that's going to leave him a putt for par.
I don't remember the last time I commentated on myself, but it's funny to watch.
Yeah, trust me. Yesterday was awful. You know that you've got good shots coming up that I don't know about because I didn't see this round as James collects his par. But there's also the bad ones are coming too. And it's like, how do you react to that? It's like, it's always so brutal to know that you're about to do something stupid. You wish you could just rewrite history. But you can't. You got a par here, I think. Please tell me you got a par. Did you get a par?
Dead center spit out.
No. So that's a par for you, and Kevin just tapping in the easy birdie. Kevin's off to a great start, 2 under through 3. Rest of the cards hanging back just a bit. Need to get things going here if anybody wants a chance to qualify for this finals on Sunday. Hole 4, par 4, 610 feet. Another hole with a new basket location. This is the hole that Sarah Hokum and Paul Macbeth won their world championships on that basket that you see right there. But we're going to this elevated basket back here in the back. OB surrounding the pin behind it. OB all the way down the right side. Low ceiling tunnel shot making the angle of release very difficult with the hillside right in front of the tee pad. It forces a very awkward shot. You want to throw it high to get that distance because I think that distance really is paramount on this hole to have a slower approach coming into this slightly curved green.
Yeah, I thought about a couple different options to play this hole. There's a short layup, and then you can go spike hyzer over all the trees on the right. Or you can...
And James is pushing that, and he is safe, and he's on the right side of the trees. He might have a pretty good lane to the basket.
Actually, James, that was a
missed throw. He was not trying to push,
but he ended up in a really good spot because he's right of all the guardian trees, so he can look almost straight to the basket from there. But he's also like 2 inches from the OB line. So,
And Garrett's kind of in that in-between zone where it's not really a good lane to the basket, but a very difficult forehand or backhand anhyzer to the pin. And so
you're in a sweet spot right behind the tree.
yeah, that is not the sweet spot. But that should be a fairly simple up and down for par.
Yeah, I thought I might get a chance if I really connect on the sidearm to give myself a putt, but I turned that one over too much.
Kevin, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Tap in. Kevin Jones is off to a hot start. That's going to move him to 3 under par. And Garrett is indeed going with a sonic turnover. This is trusting a disc so high that can be so flippy and can turn and roll. This needs to get down.
That was in the air so long. He barely is in bounds, but if he really tried, he probably could have ran to the landing spot and caught his own disc. It was in the air for so long.
That is incredible.
That was a fun shot to watch.
And look at that. James not necessarily throwing the greatest approach because that can get down the hill so quick, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be in bounds, and that is a makeable putt.
Yeah, he actually just slid outside circle 1, so he's looking at like a 40-footer.
And you're bringing that tree into play. That is not good.
I actually said that was good.
Yeah, I heard you. And Garrett, 49 feet. This would be a monster putt for birdie with an incredible approach. Oh, come on. Let's go.
Third huge putt in 4 holes.
And this is such a scary angle to run this putt. With the hyzer release, that has just roll-away danger written all over it if he doesn't connect metal and honestly just dead center basket.
It was dead center basket. And he's riding the do or die. He's like, he knows he has to go for it. He knows he has to make connections, and he's doing it.
And yeah, that's what we want to see. James able to make the big putt outside the circle.
Save par.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Now it's officially a slow start.
At this point, you're 5 back of Kevin on your card. You know that nothing worse than 6 under is going to advance. You imagine 6, 7, 8, like we said before, is going to be that magic number. Are you thinking things are okay still, or is the panic button kind of going off in your head?
I wasn't really panicking at all. I was looking at Garrett, and Garrett seemed to be playing really well because he was hitting huge putts. So whenever someone's hitting huge putts like 3 times in 4 holes, you're like, oh my God, this guy is killing it.
Yeah.
But I looked at his score, and he's only beating me by 3, and that's totally gettable. So
Sure.
I was like trying to hang on to Garrett at this point.
Okay. And Kevin with a beautiful shot down the middle and no danger whatsoever of going out of bounds on the right side of the fairway. Pretty generous landing zone for the layup approach. It gets a bit tighter if you're trying to go longer off the tee. Garrett has got his rock 3 that he's been throwing all season, and he goes right down the middle. This is perfect as well. Getting a little help and skip off the rock. Those rocks serve as a casual relief area.
James made a good joke on this hole. Before we teed off, he said, "Oh, I'm finally less over par than holes we've played." That was funny.
I've never heard that before. And James is going to stay at par at best with an out-of-bounds tee shot. No incentive to really go big at that juncture, but I guess what's he playing for at this point? Being 6 back of the leader on the card. And roller.
I was trying to park it.
And that actually is not a bad play. But before those rocks are put in there, it was just kind of a wetland. But now those rocks really are like the ideal landing spot for that roller.
I wanted to land to the right of the rocks. I threw it a bit too low.
Oh, that is an incredible approach. And you're just kind of getting away with being cheeky off the tee, trying to go with a big roller and still landing up in a good spot. And Kevin trying to push that forehand hyzer into the hillside. Coming up a bit short. That's a little bit of a tester putt.
Sonic again.
Wow. What angle control with that disc. That's such a understable disc to come into a hillside like that, if you overturn that at all, it can hit that hillside roll a B in a heartbeat. James is running this up. That's a great par save. You don't see too many shots land on that rocks right by the basket. Jeez. If you're trying to play on Sunday, you are definitely liking a 4-under start. And Garrett, after a few huge putts.
He's too close.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And you're in for your first birdie of the round. And now you're only trailing the guy that you're trying to chase by 2 strokes, even though the guy who's leading the card has got you by 5. Hole 6. This is a combination of the long tee pad, which we normally play to a par 4 position, which is about another 200 feet past this pin to the original pin. So it's a 453-foot hole that is very difficult, low ceiling, slightly slanted tee pad from right to left, which kind of makes it a little bit hard to orientate yourself properly to the gap. And there's obviously OB right down the road the whole way. And Kevin Jones, he is one of the best in the game at this hyzer flip shot. That is a huge tee shot. Incredible.
Yeah, he left himself about 20 feet.
That is such a difficult thing to do on this low ceiling hole. And that's pin high. And that's where you see a lot of drives in this hole. Just people getting nervous of going over the road.
Yeah, hyzer flip is super technical, super touchy shot. You never really...
And Garrett going leopard 3.
TL3.
Leopard? I heard it was a leopard 3.
Okay, I thought it was TL3.
That's unreal. Either way.
It's really good.
Whatever 3 it is, it's not a 3, it's a 2. That is parked. You don't see drives like this on this hole. This is incredible.
That disc had to be somewhat flippy to be that straight. Because
that is so good.
He just throws with so much spin, it doesn't even have to go fast to just stay in the air.
If you're in the Charlotte area, I encourage you to come play from the long tee pad to the short basket and try to get anything within circle 2. To put it that close with a fairway driver is just... That was a good shot from James, and he is 50 feet away.
Yeah, my shot and James's shots are like the most common shots.
Mm-hmm. Wow, a good lean out effort. So the rain has started drizzling a bit here in Charlotte, North Carolina. James, his birdie putt is wayward. You'll have to settle for a par if he can make this. He is not able to make it. He is still out from 2 drives, putting for 4. And I mean, at this point, James, it's been a great season. That's all we can say at this point.
This officially
2019 US DGC champion.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, I mean, you are a US champion for the next year, but you will not be our Disc Golf Pro Tour champion. And Kevin tapping out. Look at this start.
5 in a row.
This is outrageous. And you're still out. Garrett is just... What a tee shot.
Kevin's not making this course look very hard.
No, we try to make it hard.
Are.
We try to make it hard. At least somebody is in the car doing what we hoped would happen. I mean, not that we want to see that happen to James, but just the player A or player B. It just happens to be him today. Anyways, on to hole 7. Par 4, 641 feet. This is another new pin location wrapped around the corner, just about 45 to 50 feet longer, but man, just pulling it into the woods does make it so much more difficult to access the green. Beautiful hole down the road, OB left the whole way. Most players that you're going to go with a forehand. This Kevin needs us to skip, and it does get that skip and slide. There will be some trees in his way for his approach. Maybe a flex forehand approach to the pin from there.
Yeah, but for that throw, it was really good result.
Yeah, that was, it could have just grabbed the grass 100 feet or 50 feet back. Garrett overturns this drive, but is in decent position. What disc are you throwing here?
I'm going with a PD2 that I'm trying to force over and get as far down there as possible. Because I'm thinking about going for eagles already.
Okay.
I'm 1 over par through 6 holes. I know it's still possible, but
yeah, it's got to be special. From
things
here
just
on
have
out.
to start working.
Yeah, that's right. James, the beautiful drive, getting that. That's kind of that ideal position. If you're a right-hand, backhand player, that's a pretty good spot to be for the putter turnover approach. And you're going to go for a Simon route, apparently.
I'm always worried when I see myself looking so high. I mean, up in the sky.
That's when I get excited, Simon.
Okay.
That's when I'm like, oh, what are we about to see? I don't like this, though. Is this good? Nope. OB's not.
It really tried to be good,
Okay.
but then it really failed.
Okay. And so you're going to be out of bounds, probably short of the speed limits. Oh, yeah, short of the speed limit sign. And that is a difficult spot to even get up and down for the short position. But look at this. A skip into the green, and you're going to have that left for 5. That is an incredible effort from back there.
Isn't it kind of sad that I have to throw for par from way back there to throw a great shot?
And Garrett going with a super overstable flex forehand.
That's an X-Cal.
Okay, and that is going to be behind the bench. That's going to leave Garrett probably about 48 feet left for the birdie.
Kevin trying to go 6 in a row here.
He's got to go through the tight gap. Can this get that angle? Great angle. Oh, unfortunate result with the trees in the way, but he's still got a putt from just outside the circle, and we all know how deadly he can be from that circle's edge position.
Yeah, he actually likes these little jump putts. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of players that'd rather be 33 feet than 28.
Yep.
Yeah, good shot, James. Inside the circle. Garrett with a really obstructed look here.
It's not distracting at all.
What's not distracting? I'm just kidding. That's pretty bad timing. And Kevin's... This is at a point where you can go up to him and say, nice start. You can't tell him when he's on the birdie streak, but when you're going to get your first par in a long time. James with the only birdie of the group. Good birdie putt. You know, I mean, Hornets Nest Park is still a fun place to play disc golf, so hopefully you can look at these next 12 holes or 11 holes left at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, we're playing on Jomez.
Sure.
So we're playing for like 100,000, 150,000 people to watch. So
We hope so. We hope it's the next 1 million. This video right here.
we're
Like
playing
and
for
subscribe.
1 million people.
Share this video with your grandma, your cousin, your nephew, your best friend from school, your worst friend from school, your teacher.
Even though we didn't get the start we were trying to get, and even though things aren't going our way, the goal now is to
Enjoy yourself.
leave a good impression and
Yeah.
have some fun.
PDJ says most fun wins. So we can see who has most fun from here on out. Right now, Kevin's having a lot of fun. Hole 8, par 3, 285-foot right-hand, backhand turnover or a forehand. Simple lefty hyzer, perhaps to the green, the elevated box. Kind of a staple in North Carolina, Charlotte specifically, with the elevated pins. Definitely adds an element of difficulty to the putting game, which I think makes it pretty interesting. Pretty difficult putter shot. James is going to come up short. That's going to be a long, scary look from close to circle 2 edge.
Yeah, this is an absolute sidearm hole. Even if you throw the perfect little turnover, it's so much more likely that it like bounces and rolls down left than a sidearm.
Kevin just keeping it too straight. The trick is to really just make it right around that first tree that you can see with the yellow tape on it. And Garrett, unfortunate break off the wall, redirects, ricochets to 40 feet. But that was a beautiful turnover. And this is going inside that tree, and this is going to get that great result. You're the best shot of the group and maybe missed your line more than anyone else.
I was very out of breath because I just ran back to the last tee pad because I forgot my umbrella there.
Oh. That's the kind of stuff you just don't get unless you're in the booth with us. I appreciate that. It's that deep cut information.
And at this point, we were still thinking it's going to start pouring on us
Sure.
in like 20 minutes.
Well, you've already had some rain. Kevin, a great effort.
I was a bit surprised he ran that, but I like the aggression. I like where his head is, and he gave it a good run.
Garrett, a player who makes so many of those little forehand. I don't know if you've seen him make that putt before, but I've seen him make probably a dozen of those little flick throw-ins, and it's such a touchy little shot. He's so good with that Sonic. And you're able to pick up the birdie. You don't have 2 holes in a row with this same score to par on the course yet, so you're still trying to figure out your life and your identity, what kind of round it's going to be. You're still at over par. But I still don't think that you're out of position. I think this back 9 can be very attackable, and I think that you're still in position to put it together a hot round.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, I know if I birdie out, I might even shoot the hot round.
And speaking of hot round, Drew Gibson, Chris Clemens, they are off to hot starts with Kevin Jones at 5 under. Melton, Dickerson, they're also in that 4 under range. That is a great start through the first 8 holes. Still plenty of players in position to make that attack. We're on the final hole of the front 9, hole 9. This is the traditional hole 1 web back in the original days, so this hole hasn't changed. This has been the same for a long time. Just a layup zone right there to the mouth, putter, mid-range, maybe even a fairway driver if you're trying to get a little bit of a skip, and then just another pitch-up shot to the basket here. And you are going with a putter. Little Sky God action.
If there was any way to attack this hole and make it like look cool, then I would probably try. But this is just a total layup hole. There's nothing even you can try. I thought about a cut roller.
Yeah,
but it doesn't even shape up for that.
Yeah, North Carolina is not necessarily Simon Lizotte golf. There's a lot of places where Stan McDaniel, the designer of this course, really wants to put you in a position where you have to throw a very specific distance, and then if you go too far, you're out of position. So it's all about touch. And there's some places on the course where getting aggressive can be beneficial. But this is certainly not one of those places, not off the tee on hole 9. Garrett is trying to go super aggressive, and look at this. High speed, big skip. I have never in my life seen a drive that far in this hole.
No, he threw that at 70 miles an hour into the ground on a hyzer, and everything worked out.
That is incredible. I mean, not even in fun practice rounds have I ever tried to go for something that far around the corner. Hopefully that works out for Garrett. He's way around the corner. And this is going backdoor, but I think you may have found a lane all the way to the pin, and you have.
I chose the pro gap.
The pro gap, okay.
I know that look.
Is that the look of, oops, I just got away with something?
Yep.
Yeah. Kevin trying to go the proper pro route down the middle with a flip-up putter, and that is done very well, leaving about 26 feet left for the birdie. And we still haven't got to Garrett's drive. Unbelievable.
James is just trying to throw everything in from this point on.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you got to give yourself...
sit back and enjoy.
This is an opportunity to get on the shots of the year. At the end of the year, you don't know what the position was. You don't know what the situation was. If it goes in from 200 feet, that's incredible. Oh, and speaking of trying to throw it in from 200 feet, that was about as close as you're ever going to see a shot go. And Garrett's actually left himself kind of a difficult comeback putt.
This putter has been hot, though.
Yes, okay. That would have just been such a wasted opportunity with such an outstanding, like almost unrealistically good drive. And Kevin, wow, 6 under front 9. He is trying to punch his ticket to Sunday. He's doing a good job with that front 9 effort. And that's going to get you to even.
I was pretty happy with an even front 9.
That's going to take a big back 9, though. I can see you finally have got a streak, though. You've got 2 birdies in a row. So.
Yeah, killing it.
And James Conrad, he's going to be 9 back of our leader going into the back 9. Like we said, good season, James. But let's give a shout out to the JomezPro Founders Club. Let's give a shout out to Mark Slattoski and to JC Bartle. Thank you guys for being a part of the JomezPro Founders Club.
And Brad Nix.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Simon, for joining in. All right, guys, we'll stay tuned. Keep your butts glued to that seat. We're going to bring you the back 9 coming in right here. Oh, look at that, Kevin. I appreciate you, buddy.
Nice.
Little shout out. Big Jerm stamp. All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching. See you on the back.